Let's speak now to Conservative MP, the MP for Bolton West, Chris Green, today. Who are you backing, Chris?
Tom Tugendhat, we need a clean start.
Yeah, I think, a lot of people look at a military man and there is an appeal. But I would say to you, you may say that when you hear Nadine Dorries talking about how, you can see how they're all obviously at each other's throats, maybe military men might be too straight to hold a post in cabinet or to be Prime Minister.
I think politics, whether it's the leadership at the moment in terms of government or Parliament as a whole, is mired. It's in a really bad place, and I think the country is losing confidence in our politicians. Actually, the qualities that the military bring to bear are the qualities people want to see restored in Parliament.
I definitely think, from people I talk to in real life, they can see there's an admiration for people like Tobias Ellwood and Tom Tugendhat and Ben Wallace as well. But I think the big problem with this, and which screams to me of some sort of stitch-up, is this is all going to be over in 2 days. So you need to get to know Tom Tugendhat. He hasn't got a high enough profile. People need to know. They're not going to get a chance to know him, are they?
Well, there's a few stages to this. So the first round is going to be tomorrow in terms of knockouts. You've got the threshold of 20 to start. You've got to get 30 supporters for the next phase. So it could be early next week when it's completed in terms of Parliament. Now, everyone in Parliament knows these figures. Tom was put in place as Select Committee Chairman for Foreign Affairs twice. So he's got a very significant status in Parliament, a huge experience, and he brought a huge amount of experience into Parliament with him. So that recognition is there. Then it goes to the membership. Again, these are people who are really interested in politics.
But he has to go... But what I'm saying to you, though, is, Chris, that he's got to go from 11 to 2 in about 10 seconds, basically. That's a tough ask.
Yeah, it is. It's so difficult. For all the candidates in government, not expecting this, perhaps. I've been kind of anticipating the race happening for a little while.
Why was Nadine Dorries so shocked? She's absolutely shocked that people have been planning this a few months in advance, and it has taken her aback. I mean, I thought she needed a touch of the vapours. Well, really, I thought she was going to pass out. But really, I mean, we all know what politics is, and she's trying to pretend, Rishi Sunak was planning this, as if no one else was.
I think more the point she was making is if you're buying the website, if you've got all of these things whilst being Chancellor, and we're going into the cost of living crisis and all of those problems, you can do to do the both at the same time was, I think, the point she was making. But I think Rishi, Liz Truss, we've got so many great candidates from government, from the current setup, which has actually brought us into the situation we're in. And this is why having a clean start with Tom is so significant. We've got to restore confidence.
Yeah, and Tom's making his big announcing speech today, isn't he, along with the former Chancellor, Rishi Sunak. So we will presumably hear more from him about what his vision would be for the country. How much damage do you think is being done, though, by the kind of comments from Nadine Dorries? We've also heard, haven't we, James Cleverly coming out saying Rishi Sunak was essentially a Labour Chancellor. We're seeing the blue-on-blue bloodletting. It's really, it's not good for the party, especially if you want to have a functioning cabinet at the end of it. Do you think that's why they have sped up this process and decided just literally 2 days of this before we can carry on?
Well, I'm always an optimist, and what they're fundamentally doing is having a debate on tax. We've had a very high tax environment for a long time. This is having a massive impact in terms of the cost of living crisis, in terms of businesses being able to invest and recruit people. So having a conversation about tax, perhaps a robust argument about tax, is pretty healthy.
Well, what's Tom Tugendhat's views on tax, then?
It's too high at the moment. It's having that impact on families.
So he disagrees, then, with the former chancellors and all the experts that have come out saying Rishi Sunak's right on this?
Well, actually, on the national insurance side, all of the other candidates voted for it. Tom didn't, because he knew it was wrong, because it's a tax on jobs.